Yeah, I mean, I think the breaks kind of helped. You know, we've been focusing mostly on our defensive side of the basketball. We put in a couple of different defenses, and hopefully we can kind of help them out, help the team out to make some stops and stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of it's been interesting, you know, to see how we have to break it down and help them to understand it. But it's been a good week so far, and we got a big week coming up. So hopefully we can kind of get playing. You know, this is the second season what we always talk about. You know, we finished the preseason, now we're starting the second season. That's extremely important.
So it's a complicated process. You got to understand what you're supposed to do with these defensive changes, and then you got to believe. Where are they in that process?
Yeah, you know what? I think the second word, believe, is, you know, understanding. Sometimes if you believe, you can kind of get over it. But yeah, you got to kind of believe in it. You know, we hired a new coach that's familiar with the 1-2-2, which is similar to the 3-2 we were playing before, and we're kind of putting that in, trying to see if we can get kind of get acclimated to it and stuff. But it's taking us a little bit of time, you know. I think the total thing for me is I don't care what kind of defense you play. If you're not in the way, it's a simple thing. Being in the way is a big deal. Whether you late, you know, like, you know, Amani Daniels is really good defensively, but she's a little late, and that's why she gets a little bit in foul trouble, and she has to help so much. I think she understands the process. We just got to get everybody else on the same page, and, you know, I mean, I don't know no other way. Unless you're shot blocking machines at a 6'5", you don't have to get in the way. You still gotta kind of get in the way, but you can block shot. We're not a shot blocking team, so we got to learn how to make sure that we're in help. And, you know, if we're going to force the ball where we want it to go, which we're getting better at it, we just got to make sure we have that help.
How different is Texas State from last year?
No, I think they're pretty much the same. You know, Burks is scoring 18 points a game, and then Anderson is scoring about 10, but she's averaging 8 rebounds a game. So those are the two main ones. Everybody else is in the, you know, score 5 or 6 points a game. So I think they play similar. They playing some man. They playing a lot. Well, I think they play a little bit more zone, the 2-3 zone that we're seeing that they're playing, and they want live ball turnovers. They want to make steals and try to go get scores, and they're pretty athletic, and the transition game is pretty good.
How would you describe the vibe of the team right now, sitting winless? Do you feel like they're getting close to getting that first win?
You know, that's a good question. I don't really. I would hope so. You know, I think the word believe is, can we get that? You know, and I think I always say that. You know, we got to have some evidence of our system is working. These days, it's different. You know, you could rah-rah them to death years ago, and they would find a way to do it. Now it's got to be, you know, they got to see the evidence of what, you know, how is this going to work, and is it going to work? And, you know, everybody comes from, you know, it's a team of, everybody's coming from so many different ways to play the game, and they're all good. Ours is a special way, and, you know, I think until we start believing in one another and what we're trying to do, it'll be tough, you know. But I mean, you know, they're practicing hard. That's not really, you know, practice with energy yesterday and stuff, and that's what we talking about. It's something we can't coach, you know. You got to have effort, energy, and you got to want to, you know.
In the past, y'all were always pretty good. If you have somebody who's averaging 17, 18, 20 points a game, but being able to shut down that player and make someone else beat you, are y'all even in position to do something like that right now? Where y'all are?
You know, we haven't worked on that part of it. You know, I mean, I used to work a lot on, you know, one-on-one and denying the ball and not letting them touch it. That's my belief, you know, and we haven't really focused too much on that. That's a great point, you know, especially against Texas State. We've done it with their point guard before, you know, small point guard. And I mean, I think we have a couple of players that could do it. You know, it's just a matter of the rest of the players playing 4-on-4 and able to be able to help when we aren't in position. You know, when you deny the ball, a lot of times you don't see the ball, so you're not in help. So, you know, it's a lot of talking, and I think that's the thing today is like, can we find a way for those kids to communicate within themselves in the you know, on the court. You know, that's the big thing, offensively and defensively, that we've been having a little bit of struggle with.
Offensively, are you in a place right now where you need to be telling whoever that is, 2 or 3 girls, be more aggressive, y'all shoot maybe a little more than you have, or is it you're not there yet?
Yeah, we own that, Kev. I mean, I think that's a big point of what we focused on this week. I actually broke down the percentages and stuff, free throw, 3-point, and, you know, inside, you know, the 50, inside the 3 stuff. And those kids that really need to put the ball up and be a little bit more aggressive on their shots and stuff. And that's another thing right now is like I always feel that they become professionals right now because we just finished our finals and now we can get in the gym. I mean, we should be in the gym morning, noon, and night, you know, them putting up shots to get some confidence. And, you know, I see a lot of great shooters and they talk about confidence is built within them, you know. And that's what we need. We need those kids to get in, get some confidence. I've never been a person that, it's great that the coach is confident, but that's not what's going to carry on. You know, I think you got to get in the gym and shoot thousands of shots and see 900 of them go in. You know, you got about to see them go in. Once you start to figure it out and you start to figure out what you need to do to shoot the ball, I think you need to learn how to coach yourself when you're a shooter too, you know. And there's some things that, you know, adding another coach is going to help to where that morning stuff, we can have somebody hopefully in the gym, you know, especially opening the gym and making sure it's available for them.
What is it going to take for Michaela to knock down more shots? Because we've seen it, and you know she's capable, but 3 for 18 just can't happen. So what is it going to take?
You know, I think she's a great shooter, you know, I really do. I think she takes some tough shots, though. And that's one of the things she's going to have to do is, we've been working a little bit on it. I think she has to pull up a little bit more, too. You know, she likes to drive into the defense and then try to shoot over them, and that's tough to do, you know. And then she wants to step through, and I don't know if that's a great shot for her neither, you know. So that's going to be one of the things that she needs to. Her 3-point percentage is not good, so, you know, that kind of makes it a little bit easier for people to guard. They can kind of play off of her a little bit, and once she starts to get inside the 3, they start to pressure her a little bit more. And I think that's one of the things. It's just kind of read, you know. I'd rather her shoot it than pass it, to be honest with you. But, you know, she's got to do a little bit better job of being a little bit more selective. You know, when you're 3 for 18, it'd have been a lot nicer if she would have been, you know, 6 or 7 for 12, you know, or something like that. And I think that's one of the things that she needs to do. But I'm never going to tell her to stop shooting. She's got to figure out, you know, what are the better shots and stuff like that.